Hello everyone who likes to do science until your eyeballs pop. I am BorderWise and welcome back to Battleship Diary Season 2, what is probably going to be the final entry in this series because, I don't know, I'm tired and fed up and old, I guess. But anyway, if you've forgotten that this series was a thing, I don't blame you. I basically forgot it was a thing. But we need to get to a point with our risky big thing where we can say, yep, we're done. We've basically learned all we can from this little exercise, and, well, we basically have learned all we can from this little exercise. Where we left off last time is that we were mucking about with different arrangements, had to actually tone down the amount of APS on this thing because it was reaching the shell limit, and so we've got these cute little minigun lasers, which are not good. This is not good laser design, by the way. These are not good lasers. They're just for fun. At some point during this build, I just started to get silly. The whole thing was silly from the start, let's be honest. But I do think that we have ended up with a kind of useful experimental build, not so much a prototype build, that we can occasionally throw at other big things just to see how they do. This thing is basically no defenses apart from, I don't know, a bit of seawers and some interceptors. And, well, that's basically it. And it's big and expensive and weird. But there's one stage after stage 9, which I believe is where we left off last. That is stage 10, and this thing has a name, by the way. Thank you to Question Master for basically suggesting this more than once. This is the risky big thing, the RBT croissant slug. Because it is, let's be honest, it is shaped like a croissant. It has its name. I don't know if croissants are this color. I think if you get this croissant, you better be careful. It might be a spicy croissant. Like lightning fast aesthetics, we're not going nuts in the deco here. This is an experimental build. And as experimental builds go, you do it to learn things. And I think I have learned things. For one thing, there is such a thing as too much super firing turrets. And there is such a thing as, I don't know, I knew from the beginning, and people quite correctly pointed it out, that this thing is too tall, and that's bad. And especially having the tallest bit be the main weapons, and especially the block-heavy crams in the middle, not the smartest of ideas. However, the one final experimental thing I did was doing something I have never done before on any craft. I've put warp drives on this thing, because I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what? The riskiest part of a fight, if you're doing the kind of fights we've been doing with the Drachenschlag and the Gimli and all those kind of things, the first opening stages is actually the most dangerous bit, because the opening volley counts for a hell of a lot. So, this thing has vertical warp drives. And I've never used warp drives before in my life, which is probably a good thing, because they're a little bit finicky. It just occurred to me, I spent so much time EMP proofing these things. Yes, they are EMP vulnerable. Phew, I did remember that. So we've got a whole bunch of warp drives here, and so we've got these warp rods here. Rod per vehicle, 23 meters per... Like, it turns out these things are more efficient on smaller craft, and that was a hell of a thing to learn when building your biggest craft ever. And they're charged via these blue injector engines right here. Couldn't really fit steam engines onto this thing. And it just means that this little ACB here, when there's an enemy that is big enough, it will engage the warp drives, and so the thing teleports up in the air. So if we sit on this thing, like so, the altitude is at, where is it? Actually, we should do this. So now she's going at full speed, doing a hydrofoil thing mostly. It is interesting, this craft can outrun torpedoes to a certain extent. So it's like deceptively fast for how big it is. Honestly though, it's like it's that classic problem that I have with ambitious builds, is trying to do too many things at once. So the altitude is about hovering between 16 to 18 meters by the looks of it. And when we spawn in something big enough, like, oh, I don't know, the Megalodon over there, it will teleport up, well, how high was that? That was like 100 meters up in the air. And that means the opening volley of, hopefully, cram cannons and stuff like that will miss, and then we can have a good time otherwise. There's the staggered crams doing their thing. Let's check the damage numbers. Damage numbers are actually getting pretty decent. I forget how these... Yep, there's the big Cram. Is the big Cram gonna do anything? I don't even know. The minigun lasers are adorable. And they exploded too soon. So this is not an efficient build. It truly, truly is not. It's got some good things about it. Actually, it is getting right in there. It's getting right in there blowing things up. My goodness. But anyway, so most of this video is actually going to be throwing it against certain things and seeing what happens. Like, first off, we're going to test against the Turtle Lord and, like, various big things. And, well, I think that ACP should actually activate when all the warp drives are full. Further refinements may be needed, but for now we're done with this. This is the Croissant Slung. It's just a big, silly, fun thing, really. So yeah, don't expect to see this in a campaign or anything like that, because ye gods, like, it's just not practical for campaign use at all. It's just too big. It's too big, too inefficient. Trying to juggle too many plates at once. Let's follow this Cram Cannon, though. Whee! Wow, this has taken a long time. I don't think it's gonna hit, to be perfectly honest with you. Or maybe it will. Whee! I should really stick some diff C-Wiz on it and stuff like that, but meh. I know how that works. Mostly. Ah, poor Meg. Alright, let's hop into the custom battle simulator and, like, throw it against the Turtle Lord and see what happens, shall we? I will see you there. And here we are. Over the left we have the Croissant Slung, and over on the right we have the Turtle Lord. And for those of you who perhaps do not know the Turtle Lord or have forgotten about it, the Turtle Lord is a excellent design in giant turtly goodness, stuffed full of cram cannons and diff guns. So I'm intrigued to see how well the Croissant Slung does against the Turtle Lord, because it doesn't really have dedicated anti-cram stuff, apart from that initial warp. So we're going to have to see here how this goes. Somehow I don't think the Croissant Slung's going to win. The Turtle Lord is, I think, a better optimized craft. But we're just going to have to see, aren't we? And, you never know. Let's start the fight, shall we? So first thing it did was warp up, and I don't think that accomplished anything, to be perfectly honest with you. It accomplished absolutely nothing. We're learning things. What did that do? That actually wiped out most of the main turrets. You know what actually should happen is that the warp drive should make it warp backwards as well as forwards. Although, bearing it also, the Croissant Slung is way more expensive than the Turtle Lord, so it's going to be a bit of a problem if the Turtle Lord wins. It'll be very embarrassing for us. Although, my goodness, that amount of missile interceptors actually managed to take out a lot of cram shells. Who would have thought? Woo! Wow, we're actually taking out more cram shells than I thought we would. My goodness. There's also a lot of smoke on the Turtle Lord. Let's see... Let's see what's happening here. Whoa, that... I thought that cram shell bounced, actually. And also, it looks like as well that the Croissant Slung is already kind of getting... Never mind. Never mind. I was about to say she's getting out of the arc of fire of the Turtle Lord's, crams, but it turns out, nope, no it isn't. Woo! Well, look at that. Well, I'm not sure this proves anything, because, beating something like smaller and less expensive than you, I mean, the Turtle Lord does have a slight block count advantage. What was that? The Turtle Lord just lost a lot of health. What the hell just happened? Also, we're not doing best of 3 or anything like that. I'm just mucking around right now. I'm just seeing how we do. Let's see there. What happens there? Whee! Croissant Slung has... How is the Croissant Slung doing? Let's zoom in. Croissant Slung has lost the warp drives. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Lost a front gun. But apart from that, like, all the important bits are actually looking pretty good. That's the nice thing about having a nice superstructure there, is like, there's actually nothing important in there. I mean, the warp drives are in there, but, like, you know, who cares? Who cares? They only have one job to begin with anyway. Also, being nice and long and constantly turning means that the mortars... I say that, the mortars just hit. Whee! Bzzz. Yeah, you can see right there, that cramshell sailed through the superstructure and then didn't actually manage to do much. Whee! What did that do? Quite a lot, actually. What are these gonna do? Does this thing have any missile interceptors left? I think it does, actually. I think it has plenty. Well, the Turtle Lord just lost a huge amount of health again. Goes down in chunks. I think it is mainly the APS making the magic happen, though. Yeah, these are, how deep are they? They're in deep, man. And the thing with crams is that as they get damaged, the shell health actually goes down. So, because there's less packing on the shell. Which means that, they're weirdly, like, they lose effectiveness quite rapidly when in comparison to APS. It's a bit of a bummer. Holy crap, it actually managed to take those out. Whee! Whee! Those are actually some pretty beefy cram shells that are getting taken out there. It's like, not to be sneezed at. Whee! What's happening over here? Wow, the lasers are actually getting in there. Those really tiny, ineffectual lasers. And once again, degraded mode, my old friend. Good to see you again. And whee! How many of these cram shells are going to get taken out, do you think? 1, 2, 3... Only 3, but it's okay. There is something to be said for just having the middle part of your ship be mostly empty. I think I'm going to start doing that from now on. It's just like... It's only going to be the pointy ends of my canoes that have anything interesting in them, and the middle is just going to be completely empty. And then it's going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle around like a crazy person. Make it really hard to hit anything important on it. Actually, yeah, because it's actually like this narrow bit. Let's see here. What got blown up? Oh wow, some stuff did get blown up. The fuel storage got blown up, actually. Whee! Hooray for missile interceptors. Degraded mode, it would be nice if I could see what's happening. Is the croissant slung even moving? It is. Not as fast as it used to be, but it is. Whee! Alright, so the warp drive is... Well, at least the idea behind the warp drive is a bit of a failure. Warping up does not help something that is this tall and big. So, we've learned something there. We're learning things. I love learning. Do you love learning? I hope so. Because From the Depths requires non-stop learning all the time. Dumpty-dumpty-doo. And the fun thing about fighting the Turtle Lord is because it has so many cram cannons that the fight is not over till it's over, and it's not over until all cram cannons are gone. So, let's see here. Also, I think the main APS battery... Oh, is one of them disabled? Did one of them get taken out? I think one of them did. Yes! Look at that, on the rear. Looky, looky, yep. This guy got disabled. Which is a problem, because I think that's most of the... Oh no, 2 of them are disabled. Oh no, that's bad. Oh, that is bad. Whee! That's not what I want to look at. No, don't care about the missile interceptors. Whee! What's the bet that the Turtle Lord can turn all this around? And make magic happen? It still has a lot of cram cannons to spare. And I think the ones on the left are mostly undamaged. Also, are the lasers even firing anymore? I mean, they are. Whee! Oh no, the fire coming in from the croissant is not going as well as it used to be. Also, frickin' degraded mode, I can't tell which shells are dangerous and which aren't. Come on now. Oh dear. The croissant slung has been sitting at, the Turtle Lord has been sitting at 73% health, I think for quite a while, unless I'm misremembering that. Oh, there's the third one. This is a dangerous one. Yep. That'll do the trick. Quite nicely. Is that a steam turbine up there? It is. Why are there steam turbines up here? What is this madness? Are there crams coming in? I count 1, 2... I think one of the cram cannons on the croissant has actually been disabled. I'm gonna need to go check that in a second. Whee! Let's follow this cram cannon over there. Let's see here. What's happening to you? Pause. Let's see here. What's happening here? Nope, this is completely intact, but it's just... Whee! Yep. I kind of regret doing the thing with, like, there's 2 mini crams, and then 1 big cram in the turret. I kind of like the idea of just a double cram, where one is just a massive hollow point and the other is an AP frag. Oh, wait a minute. No, wow, the Turtle Lord is basically losing huge chunks of health every time those crams fire. Alright, what's another fun thing we can do? I'm just gonna do 1 round each. Honestly, we should chuck this thing against, I think the Davidos will destroy this completely, because the Davidos was actually, like, kind of a... I'm not sure a serious build, but, like, absolutely a build which is, like, had some effort put into it. And the Croissant Slung as well, I just kind of... I don't know. It kind of was wacky from the start, and I was just seeing what I could get away with. So let's see how much more we can get away with. And of course, like, I'm gonna put the Croissant Slung up in the workshop, and by gum, you find people, you can do whatever the hell you like. The open invitation. The Croissant Slung can absolutely be made better. Probably, for a start, is like, you know, cutting its height in half. It's really more of a low-flying airship than an actual ship, to be perfectly honest with you. I have got to replace those minigun lasers, because I don't think they do anything, really. They're cool, but that's it. They are cool and amusing, but that's all. Also, they're self-contained turret lasers, and that is an unfortunate habit of mine, I do have to say. Oh my god, what the hell happened there? Huge amount of health lost. If nothing else, the crams on the Croissant Slung are really big. And really scary, and that's about it. Yep, I think that will do it. It's just knocked off multiple cram turrets. That is, I guess it's a you could consider it a weakness of the Turtle Lord. It's just, you know, because it has so much health on its turrets, once you get past all the armor into the turrets and start sniping off turret blocks, it loses health fast. But that being said, it'll take something in the weight class of the Turtle Lord to even get close to managing that, so it's not really a weakness. And that goes for my designs as well, so I'm not allowed to criticize, am I? And wait for this final Doom Cram shell to come in. And that didn't do anything, did it? Wait for these to come in. My goodness, degraded mode. And plonk, and plonk, and plonk. Almost there. You two damaged yet? Nope. Nope. Yes, there you are. In about 8 seconds. We'll wait for you to actually despawn, because by gum. Good fight. Wow. Stayed above 90% health, though. Bearing in mind, much more expensive than Turtle Lord. I think, like, almost 1,000,000 materials more than Turtle Lord. I'll double check that, but yeah. It would be a little bit, bad if the Turtle Lord won handily against something that was, like, bigger and more expensive than it. Or at the very least, more expensive than it. That would be bad. Are you disintegrating yet? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Well, alright, so we have established that the croissant slung, the croissant snake, can beat the Turtle Lord, even though the warp drive thing, like, failed completely and utterly in its mission. Maybe this isn't the last episode of this. Maybe I can do better. And, there's something to be said for a glass cannon that just has too many guns to completely disable, so yeah, there is that. So yeah, we're going to be moving on to, I don't know, I'm going to have a look in me folders and see what I can test. I think there's good stuff I can test, actually. I'll be back with you in a bit, once I've found something good to shoot at. Okay, here's another combat test. It occurred to me that it could be quite fun to test the croissant against the BBS 5th season. Now, huge disclaimer, the BBS 5th season is literally half the cost of the croissant slung, so more this is an experiment to see whether redundancy can beat unstoppable railguns. I have a sneaking suspicion that unstoppable railguns will be, well, unstoppable, so let's see how this goes. Let's see if having paper armor, or at the very least cardboard armor, can buy the croissant enough time to not die horribly. Also, I want to see if that warp drive... That actually was pretty cool. Did you see that? I was hoping that would happen. That first railgun shot proceeded to whiff completely under the croissant. You could see the splash over here. Proceeded to whiff completely under it, because the first thing it did was warp up into the air. That was pretty sweet. Whee! Whether it can do it again, though, that is the question. And let's see here, and immediately losing some health, and detonating too early. Beautiful. I want to see how much damage, actually, that those railguns do. Health is... about to say pretty even, but okay, yeah. Alright, fire again now. Oh, please don't collide. Alright, let's see... What did those railgun shells do? They're going straight out the other side, I do have to say. Which, I mean, is kind of, like, expected. Yeah, wow! They're, in fact, detonating on the other side of the hull, so... That's kind of both a good and a bad thing, because it's a bad thing because they're not being stopped at all, but it's a good thing because it means the explodey damaging part isn't really doing that much. Oh my god, that cram shot looked very dangerous. Oh yeah, wow. Oh, there go the... Wow, oh wow, the engines got taken out. Let's see what happened here. Wow, the croissant slung is standing up to this better than I thought, really. And yeah, like, these shots are going, like, I mean, all the way through to the other side. All the way through. Whee! Uh-oh. This is not a good place for you, croissants. What the hell? The fifth season almost got hit with its own mortars. And there goes that turret. Alright, so I keep forgetting how strong those crams are. Wow, I hope Bungalow Bill, please don't be mad at me. Your ship's really good, and that's why I'm using it as a testing thing. Alright. Well, we're gonna have to do it against 2 fifth seasons, clearly. And then we can think on what to test the croissant against. I'm really a fan of glass cannon builds now. I think that, ever since reviewing the Malal's Will, I'm just like, you know what? That is an entirely valid way of doing things. 2 big guns is very good, but what about 8 big guns or 10? Yeah, this is the disadvantage of having just 2 main cannons, main turrets rather. Better than 1, but yeah, it can get disabled. That being said, the croissant slung is losing health really fast, and I don't think she'll be able to take on 2 fifth seasons. Also, the fact that those detonate too early is a real bummer. Whee! Also, I think just the sheer amount of redundancy on the croissant is pretty good. You should aim for the other turret now, girl. We want to, stay above 90% health here. Also, the sound is gone. There is no sound. The world cannot handle this much sound. And I think... Hang on a minute. I do love the railguns on the 5th season. They're so impressive. It looks like... Yeah, the AI for the rear lasers has been taken out. And that's why we have more than one. Yep, all the main guns are nice and safe, and that's very nice. So, 1, 2, 3. Give it a moment. Alright, I will give the... Oh boy. Did that completely disable the turret? I don't think so. Yep, nope, it's still firing. Not for long, though, by the looks of it. Wow, that is explosive. You know, you don't realize, this is the first time I've seen anything tear through the 5th season quite so fast. And I think it, is it really only because, it punches so much above its weight. Really? Oh, yep, it's done. Alright. Alright, we salute you, 5th season. But you're going to have your revenge in a little bit, because I'm going to see if the croissant can take on 2 of them at once. Let's do that. 5th season, 500 meters apart. Thank you very please. And now it's much more even. In fact, the 5th season now has material advantage, and I don't think the croissant's going to win this one. So, yeah, let's try that. I am impressed that the thing did manage to take on the Turtle Lord, though. Admittedly, it's a lot more expensive, but also, the Turtle Lord is a pretty specialized large craft killer, and the croissant is definitely a large craft. Alright, so we got... what do we got here? Let's see if it does the railgun evading hop again, because I think that was pretty neat. Yep, it did it. Whee! That looked really cool. Alright, wow. I think it did... what the hell am I looking at? This thing does dodge railguns. That's, I mean, it didn't entirely dodge them, but, not bad. Now let's see if it can actually beat 2 of these guys at once. Somehow I doubt it. It Depends on what happens, though. Yeah, if you detonate too early, that's not going to do the trick. Of course, if it collides with either of them, that could be a bit of... Yeah, I think that turret just got mauled. Yep, and collided too early. Yep, nope, this is looking very much in favor of the BBF seasons, plural now. And degraded by my own friend, it's good to see you. Admittedly, if you charge straight for something and then it, was that the big clamshell or was it not the big clamshell? Oh, hello. This is not as helpful as you might think it is. And we just warped. The good news is that the lead cram cannons, there's absolutely no way they can miss. The bad news is that there's no way the 5th season can miss at this range either. Please don't crashy. Whee! Kind of even at the minute, honestly. Whee! I think I just saw Cram ping off a shield there. That was fun. What is that? What fell off you? It's one of the 5th seasons. It's one of the 5th season's turrets. Bigora. Oh, look at that. Whee! It is quite a neat advantage that the croissant basically is so thin that, like, the 5th season shells basically can over-penetrate sometimes. That's pretty cool. I like that. Let's see here. Advantage is still 5th season. Let's see what happens, though. This is still, actually, this is weirdly even, but, yeah, the middle of the 5th season is just so reinforced. Like, look at all those separate layers of armor. It's quite impressive. And the croissant needs to be lucky consistently, and the 5th seasons, they just don't. And also, at range, they have the advantage, so there is that. Right, so there's only so much you can get away with a glass cannon, and if you're facing something with a railgun, I think you need railguns of your own to really make it that interesting, you know? Yep, Croissant Slong is losing, slowly but surely. Don't call me Shirley. Whee! The lasers were... Okay, so what we're learning here is that what really works. What really works is being made of, I don't know, sheet metal, I guess you could call it. That works well. Warp drives only work well once you've had more practice with them, and if you warp in 2 directions at once, not just one. The minigun lasers are cute, but you should absolutely not bother with them, because it's a really inefficient use of materials and lasers. What else? Yeah, those cramshells are not as doomy as they used to be, that's for sure. Yeah, now they're missing. Yeah, can confirm the croissant is, yeah, experimental is definitely the word for it. Not to be used seriously. Not to be lauded for anything. Now all the sound is gone. Hello? Is there one more clamshell coming? Let's actually go look at the croissant. Let's see how she's doing. No! Hooray! Is she missing all her turrets yet? Nope, but she's definitely got holes all the way through her. Maybe if I swapped every single shell out turret on this out for Cram Cannon, she would do better against the 5th season. But, yep, I'm seeing a lot of juicy explosions there. Yep, nope, she's not winning this one. Actually, come on, girl, I want to see some turrets fall off. This whole thing was silly. Sometimes you gotta indulge yourself and make something silly. Let's lock onto that. Let's lock onto that cramshell. By the way, in case people are wondering, it's Control Caps Lock that lets you lock onto projectiles like this. Alright, not that. That and wee. Is this going to do anything? I mean, yes and no. Now, what kind of ship would I need to take on 2 5th seasons at once, do you think? Somehow, I doubt that's, yeah. Bungalow Bill, if you're watching, have you built something that can take on 2 5th seasons at once? And if so, please let me know where to find it. I mean, I could just check your workshop page. That's definitely it. But yeah. Also, what would you recommend for taking on 2 5th seasons at once? Probably just more railgun than it uses. Or maybe just something like the Croissant Slong, but I don't know. Better. Or Mortars, perhaps. She is quite wide and flat. Wow, that cram bounced amazingly well. It was beautiful. Oh, I'm seeing disabled cram cannons. Oh wait, or is it just aiming in another direction? I think it's just aiming in another direction. Not that that makes much difference. By the way, it's firing those little crams as decoys. Just to fool, like, Diff Seawiz. So really I should be throwing this thing against the Gimli, but oopsie daisy, I think we're out of time. Oopsie poopsie. Oh, this is a sad cram. Once a Doom cram, now no longer. And it goes kablooey. Oh dear. Actually, you know what? Let me know if you... What should we should change a lot, actually. Like, the minigun lasers are fun. Oh, wow, that's a whole turret that fell off. The minigun lasers are fun, but I should replace them with, like, 0Q single combiner lasers, because that would just be better. And let's see here. There's a whole thing that fell off. What else could we talk about? We should probably adjust the cram cannons again to be like double crams, in which, like, it fires more useful shells more often. What else? I mean, I don't want this thing to get much bigger than it already is. I should readjust the warp drives, for sure. Or just remove them. I'm not sure warp drives are what you want with something like this. It does look cool, though. It does seem quite full. I mean, it does seem quite full, but cool as well. Alright, it's just a matter of time. Yep, we're getting hit by mortars, and that's embarrassing. So, it's time to speed up time, and until the croissant dies. See you at the French bakery! Or the closing of the French bakery, rather. Damn, I messed up my line. I do believe that's it. Our giant pastry is disintegrating, but still firing. Impressive. Well, it took most of 10 minutes to finally kill her, so there is that. She is, I don't want to say she's tough, I want to say she's resilient, if only because there's so many blocks to destroy before you actually make her die. Well then, that's our combat testing of the big croissant. This is one of the sillier things I've made, I feel. It's just, you know, big, too many guns. Really, I don't know, I could probably... I should remake a ship that is roughly this size, but flatter. In fact, really what I should do is I should make just a bigger, meaner version of the 5th season with 2 absolutely monstrous APS guns on it. So it's like the number 500 canoe that I made some time ago, but 2 turrets instead of 1, and I think that would be better. And also railguns, because I keep forgetting to make railguns, and railguns are actually pretty good. So yeah, do suggest what things we should add to the croissant, because now that I'm thinking of it as the big croissant, my interest is piqued. We should probably, and also this is probably a great thing to like test different weapon combinations with. Like maybe I should make, whoopsie daisy, a creme only version of the croissant. I could make, what else could we do here? Since I've jammed battery charging engines on this, we could see if we could add plasma. There's possibilities. I think this series might not actually be over. Well, it depends on how interested people are, I guess. One of the 5th seasons is almost about to run out of resources, and that's interesting. How did we manage that? I think maybe we blew up its material storage or something. Man, this thing's taken a long time to disintegrate. Take your time, girl. But anyway, we're definitely going to have to combat test this thing, but we can continue that as part of this series. Sorry for taking so long to get back to this. I've been what? Wait a minute. Oh my god, it's a draw. I mean, kind of, sort of, not really. The 5th seasons have run out of material. But, I mean... Yeah, and also the croissants started despawning before they ran out of material, but my goodness. That is kind of an accomplishment, I guess. We should probably try and get this thing to the point where it can take on 2 5th seasons, which I think the only way we're going to do that is with more firepower! Yay! I think I was actually experimenting with plasma for this thing, but it didn't work out because there was no way it would fit enough battery charging on this thing, so, Well, looks like our work is not done. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And, I went off my spiel. My comments, this. Please support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Thank you to all my current supporters. Please check out my other channels and my Twitch streams. I stream both From the Depths and other stuff, and it's all jolly good. And I will see you next time in From the Depths Battleship Diary Season 2 Revenge of the Electric Boogaloo. That's not what it's called, but anyway. Farewell!